Yeah.
Oh, you're live streaming this?
Yeah. Right, ready? Let's go. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 100% Chelsea, and welcome to your match review of Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Chelsea 1. Chelsea getting the away goal. Obviously, we weren't out there, unfortunately, student budget and other things as well. I've got Lewis, I've got Jordan, I've got Cameron, and I've got Nick. Hi, gentlemen. How you all doing? We all good?
Yeah.
Good.
Underwhelmed?
Underwhelmed?
Bit underwhelmed?
It's expected though, isn't it?
Feels like it. Same as the way we usually come out from games now.
Yeah.
Especially with Europas.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we didn't lose, so again, got to make that clear. That's a positive.
I mean...
I hate to talk like that, but...
It's our third draw in a row,
Yeah.
though, isn't it?
The predictability continues and the problems remain, and the question marks remain. My issue for the whole season has always been, what are we doing with our set pieces?
Oh, cool.
Fair play to tonight was a funny one actually, because it's almost counter-arguing what I'm saying, isn't it? Because Lewis's free kick hit the bar, and our goal actually ironically came from a corner.
Yeah.
But it was the one corner
It was an anomaly, that's what
it really was.
The
an
corners
anomaly.
today was just poor again.
But our corners the whole
most of the season have been poor.
Exactly.
This is it. And in my mind, you can maybe tell me this is a bigger Italian than anyone in the room here. I thought that was not a pun. Don't. Stop it. Stop it. That is not what I meant. And I mean this from a tactical perspective. Serie A Italian managers, are they not reputed for being lethal at set pieces?
And the defensive prowess.
And where's that?
To be honest, I think it's that argument. Sorry, didn't come through that. I'm busy talking. I'm talking to you, so I have to leave back with this. I feel like I'm in a therapy session. What do you think of sorry? I don't know how to feel, to be honest. You know, just emptiness. Hang on. There we go. Back here. There we go. Evening. I was listening. I'm just looking at the screen now.
It's quality.
What is that?
Oh, mate.
It looks like my belly's hanging out at the bottom, but it's the white on my shirt. That's depressing.
Sky Sports are coming for us, guys, I'm telling you. The new debate show right here.
We've got Jeff Stella on
Spackman.
I'm not going to lie, they just stole that from YouTube.
Yeah.
They literally just stole that from YouTube. But I mean, I forgot what I was saying now. Oh yeah, Italians. So sorry, technically didn't come from the same school of thought as other Italian managers, because he came up through the ranks of grassroots and all that, and he worked his way up rather than going to the Italian school of football and learning about defensive football and all of this.
But was he not influenced at all by his surroundings? Because that clearly not.
I mean, it could be. He might not be. I mean, I don't know, but I think the set pieces today were awful.
But that's one of the continuing problems. It really does make you wonder, why is it in a league which is, I don't know, since the Premier League's inception, I'm not expecting a David Beckham in every team, but we are a league that's famous for having lethal set pieces. Even if it's not from a free kick or a bloody corner. Look at Rory Delap. He could turn a throw-in into
Rory Delap.
That's a throwback for you.
It's the thing. It's confusing to me because Sarri was known for being great at setting his teams up to attack and defend set piece as well. I think they called him Mr. 33 or something like that, nearly just because the amount of set pieces that he knew. So I don't know. I want to say, because it's a tactical problem, just why the set pieces aren't working. Yeah. But is it also a tactical problem, or are we just taking the corners just poorly every single time? Because we always fall into both.
It could be. I mean, wasn't it? I remember one of the first things I read when Sarri arrived at Chelsea is he practiced 17 different set piece routines.
Maybe he should practice one and just get good at that one.
I remember early in the season, we was a lot of our corners that were just floating over, and we got that one big centre backs. But at the end of it, we haven't done it in ages. It's literally every corner.
Everything's gone down from the start of the season.
Well, comment below, guys. I literally want to hear: are we the only ones seeing this? Like, is it just us who see that every single corner we take, with the exception of the goal, it seems to go to the near post?
It either beats no one or it beats everyone.
Some of them don't even reach the near post.
God, yeah.
Who was it who put... My boy William, who put that one in that didn't even reach the near post. It was terrible.
The set piece work, but we'll move on from that and we'll go... Obviously, when I say move on from that, we'll go to the goal. And the debate I want to raise is, as you mentioned, William as well. William versus Pedro. I'm advocating Pedro 110%.
If you'd asked me a year ago, I would have disagreed. Based on this season, yeah, I'd have to agree.
Yeah.
With the 12 goals he's got that would support that,
Mm.
I can't really argue against that. Willian, as much as I'm a fan of his, hasn't been at his best this year.
He hasn't put any output in
Yeah.
terms of primary
No.
statistics.
I think in terms of mentality as well, I think Pedro's better mentally for the team.
Mm.
I feel like William's a toxic figure in the squad. I would say that I feel he's quite toxic. And if we're
Why is
talking
that?
in
Why is
terms,
that?
to be honest, I think it's in terms of the football that we're playing. I think he wants to be the star man, but he just isn't. In all honesty, I think 15, 16, I think he reached his peak. And then 16, 17 came. I understand his mother died and all of that, and he wasn't really in the squad as much. But I feel like when I look at him, I feel like he sees himself as a big star in his team. I mean,
Do you
I
see
saw
him
just
like
this
that,
week.
really?
No, I think that's how he sees himself. He looks in the mirror as a big player in this team. I remember I even saw this week people coming out joking, saying, how he wanted to be a Chelsea legend and wanted to win the Ballon d'Or. You're Willian, bro. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna lie, you're Willian. I don't dislike Willian, but I feel like he's a better figure in the team, and in terms of a footballing brain, I feel like Pedro's just a better footballer than him in general.
What do you think, Jordan?
I think like when we're talking about Pedro here, like because we're talking about mentality, we've also got to remember the teams Pedro has been a part of.
Yes.
As in, look, Pedro from Barcelona.
Pedro from the World Cup in Spain,
Yeah,
from the Euros.
exactly.
He's won everything.
He's won everything. He's played in these elite teams. You know what I mean? Hell, also because he joined us in 2015. He even spent a little time under Jose Mourinho before Mourinho got sacked.
Mm.
Pedro has gone through the different mentalities, if you get what I mean. He's not just seen the mentalities that have been forced on the club.
Mm.
Yeah, and he's seen club mentality and he's seen external mentality. He's seen how different things operate, how he should operate as a player, and he's kind of blended what he's learned in one place versus what he's learned here. And I think that is something that sets him apart from Willian.
I agree. Yeah, that's exactly my thought process. I mean, Nigel Spatman, the commentator, and I'm not taking a piss there. For those of you that are too young to even remember who Nigel Spatman is or know who he is, he's a former Chelsea player, very good Chelsea player as well, and has an entrance named after him. Probably not the best entrance considering it's the disabled entrance, and you probably do want to have a look at that Chelsea Football Club. But other than that, you pointed out the fact that, other than Hazard, Pedro's probably one of the only players who can get the ball out of his feet quickly and just shift it forward, and that's how the shot came off. I mean, it's a really important thing, but I mean, you haven't answered yet, Rube. If you go Willian or Pedro.
Can be honest, I don't think either of them are the answer. I mean, today,
Of
Pedro got the goal.
Of course, yeah. In the grand
He
scheme
weren't
of
that
things.
great today either.
Yeah,
Willian weren't that great today
mm.
either. They had moments of good. They had moments of quality, but overall they were just so inconsistent and so frustrating.
It's like
if we can get rid of both of them in the summer, I'd rather just do that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's like we all know in the grand scheme of things,
They're not the future.
yeah, they're not a future. As
Now,
in the
Pedro's
here and
slightly better than
in the here and
Willian,
now.
but they're both not good enough.
They're really truly they're not. They're not
See,
future anymore.
You say Pedro's slightly better than Willian, but I'd almost elaborate on what you were saying a moment ago, as in neither of them are the answer, because you can pick literally either one of them on the day, and one could outdo the other.
I agree with that.
And
Or
there's,
you can pick either one of them on the day, and then you'll be thinking, "Oh Christ, why didn't we pick
Why
the
did
other one?"
one?
it seems to be.
And then when they come on, we're like, "Oh God, why didn't we play Callum?"
Yep.
So is Pulisic the answer then next season?
Sorry.
I'd rather see
Pulisic?
it be something different.
I mean, he's the answer for shirt sales.
Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi, I think. I'd love to believe that we haven't just bought Pulisic to sell shirts to the US crowd. I really would.
Oh yeah, God.
I mean, I'll put my hands up and say, I don't follow the Bundesliga as much as I probably should as a football fan. I haven't seen him play as much as I'd like to, given that he's coming to us next year. I'm not going to front about that.
Mm.
You do have to think there's a bit of a marketing ploy behind that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I would love to be proven wrong and to think there's something more to it than that. Do I think we've brought in a player who we can actually build a future on down the wings with Hudson-Odoi? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'd love to think that. In an ideal world, we're going to have Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, and Jovic.
That'd be a great little lineup.
The thing is,
Can we talk about Jovic?
The thing
We
is,
can. We shall talk about
Hey.
Jovic.
before we get on to that, I'd say the thing is, we all have the dream. We all basically have the collective dream. We want to see Callum in the squad.
Yes, Callum and
The
Ruben.
thing is, I think obviously I know we're dealing hypotheticals, but as of right now, I find it hard to with imagining it due to Callum's injury, because obviously it is a serious injury, and I just have that fear in my head that he's not going to come back the same player.
Oh, we all do, mate.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
That's
That's
something
just
we'll
where we
address.
go up at league.
Yeah, of course.
That's something we'll address another time. But let's focus on the game in hand now, gentlemen. Can we talk a bit about Jovic?
That was his audition, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
Audition.
was.
That was his audition. 13-14 Costa vibes. Scores against us. The club won't forget that now. The club won't forget that. They're going to jump. If we haven't got the ban, we're jumping on it.
Yeah.
Straight
We
away.
need to get
70 odd
that
million,
back.
80 million they're wanting though?
Yeah, it's going to be like, I think he's got about.
He's
I
worth
think
it.
He's like a 75
Based on
million
what I
pound.
saw tonight, he's
Yeah,
worth
fuck
it.
it.
Oh yeah.
I think what would happen is if we don't get the ban, we'll go for him. Frankfurt will probably ask for like 75 million. We'll spend like 3 weeks trying to haggle them, and then we'll end up paying 78 million instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Mourinho going with a flat offer of 32.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, can we give you 32 million? What? No, fuck off. Yeah, it's going to be honest, but the game itself, if we go through the lineup, we had Kepa in goal, Emerson at left back, David Luiz, Christensen, Aspilicueta, midfield three of Jorginho, Kante, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and a front three of Willian Pedro and Olivier Giroud. It's not exactly inspiring.
Yeah.
It's predictable.
Yeah, it's
Once
predictable.
again.
The saddest thing is, it was probably the best lineup he could have put out.
You say that?
I think it made sense to rest Hazard.
Based on... Yeah. It made
And
sense
to be honest, when he
Hazard.
came on, Hazard didn't really do much either. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He looked good, but he didn't have a massive impact.
No, he didn't have the impact we wanted.
To be fair, there was moments he could have, Hazard.
Is no one else bored of just saying, where's the plan B?
Oh.
It's 4-3-3 again. Like, I mean, hot take, not that it should take a football manager some sort of twat on YouTube to give his opinion on a football formation, but in all honesty, I think playing a 4-3-3 against a team like Frankfurt was inviting trouble.
Yeah.
And, I think the only reason they didn't score more goals than they did tonight is I think they gassed themselves out. Literally, I think that was like someone in an MMA fight going for the knockout in round 1 and 2.
Yeah.
They got the knockdown, they didn't get the killer blow.
I think they because obviously the commentators kept on talking about it. I think Hazard not being on the pitch made Frankfurt think, all right, let's go all guns blazing from the beginning.
And they gassed themselves.
Yeah, and it just ended up with Frankfurt getting the one goal, but then not building on it because they thought, all right, we can do this, but they weren't playing like level-headed. They just seemed to be going like when you're playing, to use the term, it's like when you're playing FIFA, you're losing in the 93rd minute. That seems like how they were playing the entire match at times. Do you get what I mean?
They were playing with intent. The crowd certainly acted like
the crowd.
12th man, and that picked them up at the end. And again, I think that's kind of makes me wonder why we didn't kill the game off when we did, because there was a good 30 minutes of play where.
No, but that's what happens with us every game.
I think the issue is we didn't.
Painful.
We didn't kill the match when we should have because we can't.
So again, as I said in my video last week, it's that lack of killer instinct.
Yeah.
And
credit to Frankfurt's defence, because I will say they kept Giroud very quiet.
We got to give massive credit to Frankfurt because they played well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've been critiquing them, but to say frankly, they weren't playing well.
Yeah, they'll be pissed they conceded the away goal, but they'll be happy with the result. Especially going into the second leg, one away goal from them and it all twists.
1-1, they've got to think that they can get a result.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing which people keep bringing up in the chat, and I'm reading it now. And what is going on? Oh dear, what is this? What happened?
Are we still live?
I think we are.
If you're live, sorry guys.
We should be live now.
I'll check if we're live.
Maybe jump on.
We still live?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're still live. Here we go. Live.
Amateur hour at 100%.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
we're
I
live.
was scrolling through the comments, and now the thing just scrolling through the comments, and it's just literally just gone off the screen. I don't understand why. A lot of things that people are raising in the comment section is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Focus. You too. Loftus-Cheek. Thoughts, guy.
Hey, why'd you go to 2 light skins first?
As opposed to.
In all seriousness, he was one of the best players on the pitch.
He was.
Looking at him with the ball at his feet, he did get through quite a lot. I do remember him getting past quite a few players. which sometimes in games I say to myself, Ruben, get on the ball, drive with the ball a little bit more, and today he definitely did do that.
Yeah.
He definitely had the space and made sure he used it.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Everyone's talking about him being this sort of second coming of Frank Lampard based on the fact that he does a lot of long range shots, which I'm not entirely on board with. He reminds me a lot of Idiger Johnson when he was put into that forward midfield role.
Yeah.
He's got those feet about him.
Yeah.
And he drives like Ider used to do.
Here's the thing with Ruben. He was the only player to say that genuinely looked like he had the drive and the intent to take the game for himself. He was the only one trying to consistently take shots. He was the only one consistently pushing the ball forward, beating players, getting into positions. Even though he came off, should have been my man of the match.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that in the comments that he was the man of the match.
Yeah.
Some people are comparing him to Michael Ballack as well.
That chant that's been going around.
Michael Ballack, I think that's one as well.
I think
But
it's also our duty to maybe send a little bit of love Jorginho's way.
Oh, yeah.
Jorginho was great.
Because he's come under fire this season. He deserves credit where it's due. He had a game tonight.
Like we were saying before we started filming, we were saying with all of this, it seemed like he's playing a good match. It seemed he played even better after he got hit in the head. Like someone knocked some sense into him, innit?
Warrior, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's still going to get
That's
booed by the
trademark,
fucking
no
Norway
tweets.
fans. That's going to piss me off if they do that again. They boo him next time.
I think, in all honesty, I don't. At this point, it's just they want someone to put the blame on.
Football fans
It's
love a scapegoat.
stupid. Like the first
They
time was
love
dumb
a
enough, but then they did it again against Slavia Prague.
To be honest, the second half of the season, I think Jorginho's been quite good.
Yeah,
And
I think he's been growing so well.
But almost everyone has had their moments.
And he's got a strong heart on him, you know.
Yeah.
For guys to be booed like that and still come on and go, you know what, I'm going to give it my all.
You
Yeah,
want-
and he's
got
good.
to give
He
man
had decent
credit.
games
Yeah.
both
I think
times.
the one little criticism we were all saying earlier with Jorginho is what happened when Kepa tried to play it out to him, and then that was a mess on all three parts.
That was a mess, but I feel like even though he did distribute to Kante straight after, I feel like Kante should have done better.
Yeah.
I think it was Kepa's fault for
I
bringing
thought
out
it
in the
was.
first place.
I'm not gonna. If I'm being honest,
all three of them messed up. in one way or
Kepa
another.
should have been slower on that because he put Jorginho in that position.
Slow
That
down
put
the game.
Kante in this
Yeah.
position. It all started from him.
if I'm being honest, I feel like our two other midfielders outshone Kante today.
yeah, I agree.
Of course, Kante had a good game. Kante, you're going to get a standard.
Yeah.
Good
Standard.
You know what
Kante
you're getting with
performance.
Kante.
But I feel like with Jorginho and Ruben, I think hopefully a lot of people have opened their eyes to how good they are.
Yeah.
Jorginho, he's been consistently good for the second half of the season, and Ruben, since he's come into the
Consistently
he's been very
better.
good with the ball at his feet, and
Yeah.
that was clearly shown today. He was clearly
Definitely
driving
not fair to
the
bandage fracture under there. It seems to be a lot better. I still think there's times where I understand we're trying to initiate a style of passing football, and I know you guys have addressed it already, but it's kind of like sometimes you do just need to boot it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You do need to just get rid of it and then.
That's why
Lewis
Lewis is in the
another,
team.
another thing we forgot about that tackle Jorginho made.
Beauty.
Yes!
Beauty.
Great.
That was a proper centre backs tackle.
That
right
was
there.
arguably a match saving
Someone's given us a super chat saying I have 50 quid if I do the next review shirtless.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Do I sell my body?
Go for it.
No, I mean,
Are you worth more than 50 quid?
I am worth more than 50 quid.
Then that's your answer.
Yeah, come on, up the price. We'll negotiate here. However, in terms
Were you
of
talking about Louis or Lewis or me or Cameron?
Me.
Or...
I don't think anyone's talking about me.
I don't know, maybe if me and Jordan did together, we'll do it for 500.
That's some coin there.
We'll be setting up a Patreon.
Obviously, it's a 300-200 split.
Fuck off.
The views of Louis and Jordan about selling one's body are not shared by the rest of 100%.
For anyone watching, our Patreon account will be open as soon as this review finishes.
100% starts.
Just
Can we talk about their defence today as well?
Defense was poor.
I mean,
that's a good segue from
We-
100%.
I
know. You know what? Louis' legs were open all the fucking time. Sorry.
Speaking of slut.
Yeah, in all honesty, we were talking during the game about Rudiger and David Luiz, and some people were arguing that David Luiz is potentially better than Rudiger.
No, I don't think any of us were.
Me and Jordan.
You and Jordan
Oh,
were.
you know.
Who said Louis was better than Rudiger?
No.
We're saying.
We're arguing about
That's the
the
main
one.
people
Yeah,
having.
we're saying because
And-
obviously we're both advocates for Rudiger.
Yeah. So
Does anyone
a lot
else
of
in the
people
chat
agree-
think Rudy should be our new captain?
Yes.
I want to hear what the chat has to say about that.
Well, a lot of
Should
people-
Rudy be the new captain?
A lot of people have been trying to say that Luiz is better than Rudiger, and
It's
it's
good-
games like this.
They're wrong,
where,
that's fine.
Yeah, it's because when we talk about when we're saying who's better, we mean it on a defensive level.
Yeah.
And then people bring up penalties David Luiz scored 7 years ago. Or they it's like, if we're going to bring up penalties, we can bring up the one in the Carabao Cup final. Yeah, it's like with defenders, we do, a lot of fans do this, where if we're talking about a defender and what makes them good, the first thing you have to think of is defensive ability. It's like, you don't instantly think, oh, he gets goals. You think, oh, he makes tackles, he knows how to mark his man.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like, with size, you can't, because no one knows how to mark that now.
To be fair, but there was that part, yeah, it's only
Can we get on to
No,
that
but
in a minute,
then
actually?
the
Let's finish this
individual
ball.
errors that he had today.
Exactly.
Like, you can't account for that because he was in that situation. He fucked up countless
It was
times.
him half-arsing a couple tackles.
Exactly.
There's one
Amazing.
scene, right at the end, when I think it was the Costa.
Yeah, the prospect, he just
And
got
literally,
past him.
he
It wasn't even a good one.
He stuck his leg out.
It wasn't even a flick flag. It wasn't even a flick flag.
No, so he could pass the ball, guys.
Exactly,
it's fine.
passing the ball.
He could do a through ball.
But at the end of the day, your first job as a defender.
Passing the ball, not even gonna lie, he's
gone
gone down a little bit. He was great to start the season, but it's gone down along with Rudiger's now.
You want to talk about pass, you want to talk about penalties that Luis scored. I'll talk about a more recent pass. How flat Luis was against Manchester United. That goal that Juan Mata scored, granted it was a very, very it started nicely with that chip through.
Yeah.
Luis was on the line when Mata made that shot which led to the goal. Had that been John Terry, he's not on the line, he's throwing himself.
Even if it's Gary Cahill, he's throwing himself.
That's true.
A defender, take our defenders out of the equation. A world-class defender, Thiago Silva, back in the day. Walter Samuel, I don't care how far back you want to go or how recent you want to go. A world-class defender will throw himself at the ball in that situation. You could do that too.
Wait, tell Ben how you've thrown himself on the line.
I personally think, by the way, Gary Cahill,
Luis Suarez.
Terry. Let's just let's get Stephen Walker, all right, or get ourselves, I don't know, Ben Mee, James Tarkowski, really go for it there. Get yourself a proper Brexit centre half.
Doherty from Wolves.
He's Irish, but okay, we can know that.
It's fine.
Irish isn't Brexit, but yeah, we'll go with it. It works.
To be honest, in all honesty, I know I sounded ignorant. That I didn't actually hear the whole British part. The part that resonated with me was a good, solid Premier League defender. Doherty, someone. Bolly, bring one of those Wolves.
Are you just mentioning
Quality.
Brexit so you could tell the Frenchman to piss off?
Yeah, get the fuck out. So what? But I mean, other than that, we'll move on from that.
And now you know how Louis voted.
Listen, I voted for Remain. If I'm
So
calling,
there goes the Chelsea fan
no.
base.
Can we just say
There goes
this?
the Chelsea fan base.
Can we just say, my name is Louis Beneventi. How fucking stupid would it be if I voted Lee? What's it? You're Italian, aren't you? Yeah, voted Lee.
You
This is what's the one. It doesn't make any sense.
Farage's surname's European and he part of the Leave campaign.
Oh, yeah, but he's a dick.
Farage's kids are German, so I really want to see what happens to them after.
Some people are saying David Luiz was too tired today.
You could question.
You could argue that.
Yeah,
you could say that.
That's always fair.
We lacked a bit of quality against tonight. Worst result. Luiz is now done. I'm a big fan of him. Rudiger should be the captain. He shows the most passion out of all our players.
Rudy!
And his new theme tune should be the Kaiser Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, Rudy, Rudy!
But I mean, now we'll move on to the zonal marking stuff.
Just can we move on to the zonal marking?
Yeah, go on. Nico's been dying to moan about this.
Come on.
Go on. Yeah, if we're talking about zone marking, in my personal opinion, you need someone that's going to be able to actually cover their fucking zone. Yeah, we do not have a lot of large figures in the team to actually pursue zonal marking. Because let's be real, it looks like we've got two aerial threats there: Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Dan Luiz. I know Christensen's on the pitch, but in my opinion, Christensen isn't that great in the air.
No.
In all honesty, he's not. I don't think he's that great in the air. So I don't understand why we're doing this against this team today, because aerially they're better than us. A lot of teams in the league are better than us aerially. So why are we trying to use zonal marking? Because if we had a few players that are very good in the air, I'd say go for it. Giroud, Giroud's good in the air. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Giroud, Luiz, maybe a Rudiger, and then someone else on top of that, and then another Loftus-Cheek, and you need. I'd say you need at least 5 figures to go.
Alonso? Yeah.
Right, don't.
mate, you can take the piss out of me for saying Alonso there.
Dave.
But you want to bring back Bakayoko.
Oh my god, listen, yeah.
Ooh.
No.
That was a good
No,
listen back.
I thought he was talking about the game today.
Hello.
He's laughing. He's going, oh shit, I'm
My
done.
cheeks are going red.
Can we take it a step further with the zonal defending, please? But everything you've just said is true, but to elaborate on that, what you're talking about with the zonal defending,
Doing cardio, eh?
you're looking internally at where we're lacking. If you look at the Premier League, this doesn't so much apply for the game tonight, but if you look at the Premier League...
Oh, everyone's popping the time.
I know, right?
Jesus Christ. Gentlemen, I'm going to let you carry on with the review. I'm going to get rid of this person. I've seen a bit, enjoy it. Get a little picture of see you in a sec. Let's run the keys.
Keys!
Where's my jacket?
Sorry guys, as you can see, we're very organised.
See, I put my phone on silence.
I mean, that's what I did as well.
I have no respect to put my phone on
It's
silence.
amateur
Come
out
on,
here at
guys.
100% Chelsea, I tell you.
Wow, you need
Now
to
he's
come
locked
back.
out.
For fuck's sake. Where are these keys?
I say we're
Is there a way of cutting this as a blueprint? This is terrible, guys.
Sorry. No, those are my keys.
Oh my god.
Did I leave
Hang on,
one?
back to the zonal marking.
Yeah, back to... Is he locked
Oh, it's
outside?
there. It's there. Yeah,
Carry on with the zonal marking.
Here's the thing with zonal marking.
sorry, guys.
We were talking internally about how we've got players who are not able to cover properly in the air. Everything Cameron just said, spot on. In the Premier League, the whole premise of zonal marking is that the game needs to move at a slow enough pace so that it can be read to cover your zones. The pace of the Premier League every single year is so fast, and it just keeps getting faster. Unless you've got not only defenders who are good in the air, but at the same time defenders who read the game, and I'm talking read the game old school, like Rio, like John, like bloody Vidic, you know, guys who could read the game.
Vidic, but mate, Van Dijk does. He's a better defender than Vidic, apparently.
Well, possibly. We'll go with Van Dijk, for instance. But you need players who are not only good in the air, you need players who read the game so well that they're able to implement the zonal marking. We not only don't currently have that, I firmly believe zonal marking is dead in the Premier League. It's too fast. 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, debatable. It's too fast now. The managers that are coming in, guys like Guardiola, Klopp, it's getting so dynamic. They're thinking of new creative ways to pass the ball. They're thinking of new ways to do the triangular passing. They're thinking of new ways to thread the ball through. And the players who have grown up watching guys who we've idolised are getting more and more creative day by day. Zonal marking is archaic. It doesn't work anymore, irrespective of what Cameron said of having players who could potentially implement that. It's too quick.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you can see Pep, Klopp, Mourinho in his second spell, they all came back with zonal marking, and then it literally just fell flat.
It
on
imploded.
its face. They just gave up on it, and they've gone back to man-to-man. Man-to-man, any league in the world, is the most effective way of marking.
Fact.
Everyone has their own man. It's not a case of, okay, guys, well, you have this part of the pitch, and you have this part of the pitch, and then it ends up going, okay, well, there's only one guy on this part of the pitch, so 4 of us will go over here.
It
And
also,
it's
because man to man, you have it can be undone by individual errors, but
this is the
but
point.
but with zonal, it could be systematic errors that kill it all.
Listen, as Liverpool proved last night when they lost 3-0 to Barcelona, and we can all concurrently agree they absolutely did not play badly. They played
3-0 was very
excellently.
harsh.
The 3-0 flattered Barcelona, it really did. But
I don't care.
no. Whoa, just so we're clear. No one's sad about it. But in a game of football, in the modern game of football, where the margins for error are so small, surely the mentality should be minimise those margins of error. You can put it down to potentially individual error because you fall asleep for a moment and the man that you're supposed to be marking on a man-to-man basis slips away from you. It can happen. That's what makes the game beautiful. But when you're bringing in zonal marking, you're basically inviting multiple men to make that error. It's... Why? I can't... They've got to be seeing something in training that we don't see. They've got to have some sort of academic knowledge of football that we lack. Because with my limited knowledge, I don't see what they see.
I've got an academic knowledge of football, so...
Sorry, lads.
Come on, mate, this is amateur hour. What's going on? Taking phone calls on the stream. Fuck you, no.
I'm sorry, man.
Can
Sorry.
we send him to the UAE instead of Shea?
that just doesn't sound... That sounds like you're threatening him with something there. It doesn't...
And again,
To the fans, I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your thoughts on
I mean,
Samuel
Lewis
Martin?
Cameron, you guys are actually close to the screen, so I can't read anything from here.
Does anyone have
Probably
any
just
opinions
people
now?
Is that the
you
issue
fat
with
over
Higuain?
again,
He can't pass. Or
Has anyone called me and Jordan fat bastards yet? Have they called us Snorlax and his Pokemon trainer? I don't know.
Your Kazuna and Umaga come back.
Rikishi, and
there's enough.
there's a throwback.
No, man. These comments are mad. Let's see.
Is there a lot of hate? Is that good? What do we got comment?
No, someone's talking about the kit.
Can we talk about that? And how it is fucking disgusting?
Yeah, they're asking us about the new kit, to be honest.
It's growing on
I'm
me.
really sorry.
No, it's growing on me a
It's
bit,
growing
mate,
on
but I
me.
still
Hey,
don't like it.
let me put it like
I'm
this.
still not buying it.
Hey, this is how I look at the new kit. It's got white socks. That's all that matters. Literally all that matters.
Basically, Chelsea have white socks normally, and there was a rumour that it was going to be blue socks. To make it a full blue kit.
Hey, yeah, we're the first team to wear blue, white. I do not want to see that look go.
No, I mean, to be honest, Nike just put every single. Chelsea, for me, they have not had a good kit since 13-14 in Lampard's first
Nah,
season.
16,
That was the
17,
last.
that's my favourite.
That kit,
I love that.
From
kit.
That's
a
the pajama
distance.
kit, fam. It's the
No,
pajama
but
kit.
the thing is, you
I
barely
love
see
that
the
kit. I love
lines.
that kit, but it's the pajama
Can
kit.
I be sure?
Best Chelsea kit of all time.
Here we go.
0305. 0305, easy.
Yeah.
It's up
Can I
there.
tell you, it was the
6-7.
It wasn't even a blue kit. It was the
That was-
silver and black away kit that we had.
Yes!
That was
That
a
was
kit.
such a
We barely wore it, you know.
You know,
barely
I
wore
was
it,
all
man.
over
We
that.
didn't
It
get
was
that
silver
much.
and
One-
black
one-
kit.
if you're talking-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
If
beautiful.
you're talking
that
about
kit.
kits that grow on people as well, right?
Well, nothing grows on
All
me,
I'm
you.
saying is, I mean, plenty of stuff grow on me and you, Jordan, mate. For example, the fluorescent green kit with the Bletty's called the Wonder Gold in.
Yeah.
That kit was nice. That grew on me.
Well,
It did.
It did grow on me. You're quite right.
Oh,
That-
wait. Which one?
I was actually that age.
Yeah.
But it seems like we all agree on the black and silver. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
on
yeah,
board
yeah.
with that.
Black and silver doesn't get the love. It doesn't get the love. I've still got that as well.
This is sick kit.
If we're talking Chelsea kits, to be fair, this one's a banger.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
plain blue,
Also,
lion.
the blue and gold we had after we won the Champions League,
You
just
see-
because it
you
was
see-
such
hey,
a middle
hey,
finger to everyone
hey,
wearing
let-
gold, bitches.
Yeah, and then I went into the Europa League for it.
Josh, do you know what my take on that is? It works as a shirt, but not as a full kit.
Yes,
The white socks, which have to be there, do not go with the
the
gold.
gold is true. It's true.
I
So
mean,
black and silver.
But I think we all established that Nike is shit, and we all want
Yeah, Nike is shit.
I want Adidas.
And they give us-
I'm not gonna lie.
They
The,
give-
the
hey, they-
kits we've had since Nike have been with us, I have not liked. This is the first one
Hey,
which
hey,
they've done where I'm
We all
like,
give Nike
I
praise for
could
one
buy
thing.
this
We all
kit.
give
It
Nike
has
praise
to
for
grow
one
me a bit
thing.
more first.
They gave us
It's
the
okay
perfect
now.
away
It's
kit
like
this year.
5.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
better than what we have now.
They give us the right shade of yellow.
Yeah.
as well.
It is
I've
100%
never
better.
liked the season.
I mean, we're glad we're all speaking over each other. What's going on?
This season's kit is still shit anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like the
There
way
goes the
you
brand new
described
Nike.
this last season. Shut up, I'm speaking. Was it, like you said, last season
Oh,
was
no.
so bad that this season's kit self-harmed? That's the way you describe this kit. That's how
That's
dark
really
it
good.
got.
As I said a few seconds ago,
really
there goes the
good.
brand new
It's
Nike.
But to be fair, I was thinking this earlier when I was watching like the advert and that again.
Go on.
A lot of people were chatting a lot of smack about like non-match growing fans don't matter and that. Then the club turns around and makes a shirt based on the bridge. I don't. And then if you hear the words that he says in the ad,
Big Savage Dan, by the way.
shout
Big
out
up
that
Dan.
he say, yeah. That it's. I don't think it's a coincidence, you know. On a level, I don't think
Do you
that it's
know?
a coincidence because it's almost like they make it pretty clear in the ad to say, look, it don't matter if you go to games or if you don't go to
Yeah.
games. If you do live in the country, if you don't live in the country. This shirt, it's about the bridge and that. This is your shirt for all the fans. There you go. I don't think
I
that's
just
a coincidence.
You know what he's just done there?
It's
I
not
love the kit more
amazing.
now.
It's not an amazing kit
Yeah.
by any means,
No.
but I don't think that's a
You
coincidence.
become the Nelson Mandela of Chelsea kids. You literally just, you know...
Oh, mate. I'll tell a story about wonderful.
So that's why.
I don't know
God,
what. Go to the game or not.
It's not the
Looks
best.
like Chelsea.
It's not the best.
He's
kit,
not
but I
fucking
respect it.
Stitch. Why is that? That sounded more like Stitch than...
Oh, you have to speak of Bells.
Oh.
Nelson Mandela.
You sound like someone from the Phantom Menace.
You're too young to remember Nelson Mandela.
He died in 2009.
It was 2000. I swear it was later.
Wait, nah, 2013.
She's too young.
My bad.
She's got that baby brain on it.
Yeah, I mean, what are people's thoughts on the kits, Lewis? What are the comments saying?
People saying they like the kit, they don't mind the home kit.
It's growing on me. It's growing on me.
Adidas
This is
kits
what
for the
Cameron's
win.
just
Someone's asking about the transfer ban being lifted.
We're not FIFA.
idea. We're not FIFA. This is.
I don't think we're going to.
I love that people actually think we know what's going on.
Take it.
No idea.
I don't think.
Proper in the know account. Yeah, I'm mates with
Can I-
Gianni Infantino. I know everything.
I can't be the only one thinking this, but could that transfer ban not be a blessing in disguise?
Yes and no.
No. If we lose Hazard, no.
Hear me. If we lose Hazard, it doesn't matter if the transfer ban's there or not. Losing a player of that quality in the inflated market, he's pretty more or less irreplaceable.
Yeah.
There's no player of that quality who, with the way we've been spending over the last few years, we could fork out the money for.
No, but let's say in the case of we still need replacements in various areas, and that money could go to fixing not just one area, but many others. Because here's the thing: if Hazard goes, the only real small blessing that we have is that we can change our entire team around. Because right now, all we really focus on is having Hazard to prepare us out.
Exactly.
Without Hazard, the only small blessing that we'll learn to play without him, if that makes sense.
That
We're
not a
shit
blessing?
without him.
Is that not a blessing?
Small blessing, but you look at the areas that we still need to improve. There's a lot of issues.
Improve.
But the ban's come at the worst possible time for us. With Hazard going, if we don't get the ban lifted, if our rivals get another chance to improve and we don't, ain't going to be a good season next season for us.
Here's my, I think it might be a blessing in disguise, because I don't think for a moment the next season, ban or not, is going to be a good season. I don't think the season after is going to be a good season. But I think if Hazard leaves, and don't get me wrong, I do not want him to leave. No one wants to see Hazard go.
Yeah.
That goes without saying, that's stating the obvious. In a world where he leaves, and in a world where the transfer ban does come in, there is only one choice, is for that academy to start coming through. Because that team is not got the depth to last, even if we're playing in the Europa League and for some reason we don't make the Champions League this year. Playing in 4 tournaments, without Hazard, without the strength and depth and the ability to bring in new players, there is no other factual choice but to bring in players from the academy to make up the numbers.
It's a massive gamble. It's a massive gamble.
It's not a gamble. But here's the thing: it's not a gamble. If it's a ban, it's not a gamble. It's a choice that's been forced on us. If we were making a conceited choice to be like, let's not buy players, let's breed the youth, then it's a gamble.
Yeah.
If you're being told you can't buy anyone, then it's something that's been forced on you, and that's why I think it could be a blessing in disguise.
But look at the pressure that you put on those young players as well. That's another impact you need to look into as well. It could work.
But you see, here's this argument that constantly comes up about youth and pressure. And I've said this to you on video a few times. If you are good enough, you are good enough. Michael Owen, at age 18, ripped Argentina a new one in 1998. Wayne Rooney, at age 18...
16.
No, at age 16 scored against Arsenal. I was going to say at age 18, lit up the Euros.
Yeah.
All right? If you are good enough, you are good enough.
But even in the
It's
case
as
of
simple
those,
as
both
that.
of those, young enough, and they showed on the big stage. But how long were they playing with their clubs regularly before that? These ones you're just throwing in.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Michael, hang on.
Michael Owen
got
was
thrown
thrown
in.
in.
Completely thrown in.
Wayne Rooney
Sheringham
got
got
thrown in.
injured.
No. I mean, before. If you're going to talk about those moments in general, how long were they playing with their clubs before then on a regular basis?
Well, at senior level,
Yeah.
they were thrown in.
They were
No,
thrown in,
no.
that's what I'm saying.
No, but how long were they playing before then?
I
Was
think-
it
I think
just-
he said-
No, when I say that they were thrown
They
in,
were- as in they
they
weren't
were
playing.
literally just.
Michael Owen didn't
So what?
play
You just started recent. So what? Went straight into it.
So Harry Kane.
Fair play.
So Harry
That's
Kane.
my point. Is that
Harry-
if you're good enough,
yeah.
you're good enough.
Harry Kane's went straight into the Tottenham side because they had loads of interest. They centre forward. Wayne Rooney did. Michael Owen did. Class of '92. That's a prime example of players which are literally just thrown into the side. They're part of the squad,
David
but they
Beckham
were
at
literally
age
just went
18
right. Fuck it, you want to do
Wonders.
it.
So did Paul Scholes. So did
And
Gary
maybe
Neville.
just to be
If
fair,
if you're good enough, you're good enough. And there's this
Alright.
constant stuff about, oh yeah, they got potential. I'm hearing this about players like Paul Pogba now. The guy's 26. He's a World Cup winner. Can we stop talking about him having potential? He's got the wrong attitude. He's got the wrong mentality. He's got all the skill in the world. But he doesn't have the right attitude. And attitude is part of being a footballer. I don't question the ability of Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Callum Hudson-Odoi, and I also don't question their attitude, you know? And I want to see, when put into the limelight, what some of our other academy products have. Because it's all very well us on the back behind the scenes saying, look how great our academy is, we win this, that and the other at youth level every year. Give him a chance. McTominay's being given a chance now by Solskjaer at Man U. He's doing good.
To be fair, if you look at our situation as well, we've got potentially Kurt Zouma coming back.
There you go.
He should be starting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's got Premier League experience under his belt.
How
Ola
was-
Aina, if we can get Ola Aina back in, I think that's big. Because he's
Yeah.
played a full season under Torino, and Torino won it back. So I think Ola Aina should also be playing. My Bakayoko as well. Yeah, even just as a squad player. Even just as a squad
Lewis, what are
player.
your thoughts on the other stuff as well with youth players? I'm not allowing your Bakayoko propaganda on my fucking channel. You can shut up. Do it on your own one. Right,
Reece James.
yes.
Reece James. Yep.
Yeah.
He should come back into the squad.
Charlie Musonda.
No.
No?
He's done.
You literally just say Popper has a shit attitude. Musonda changed his name to Musinho.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
I revoke what I just said.
But yeah, if we talk about players that come back, I think we should go back to Cameron and Bakayoko just to hear him out.
No.
What about
to be fair, okay, you know what?
No, I'm not even joking. In all seriousness, yeah. Me winning Bakayoko is just a joke. It's kind of a joke thing. But as a squad player, it's not the worst option. It is not the worst option.
It's just a matter of...
It's better than throwing a Ute in there. You get me? It's better than throwing a
Would you have Bakayoko ahead of Barkley?
Yes.
in the
Would
squad?
you?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't believe I didn't even need to
It couldn't
think.
be
really
Do you know what? Do you know what? Both of them are shit.
Yes.
But I think the point with Bakayoko is we're saying, oh well, he's doing well in Italy at the minute.
Right
yeah,
player, right league.
exactly. That's the thing.
No, I hear you.
Yeah,
I'm joking. But
You're not though.
No, I am. Though.
You literally.
I'm not
no.
calling for
No. Yes, that you literally
Check
went.
out Cameron's Twitter.
I'm being semi-serious.
He
That is not taking the piss. You're there going, I'm being semi-serious.
No. But
Look me in the eye.
If you want me to be dead serious here, as a squad option, he is not the worst player I've ever heard of.
Tell them.
Tell them.
It is not the worst option. It is not the worst option. It's better.
I've got a comment here that says, Cameron, you're a prick.
Is that from Mr. L. Beneventi?
Best one here is Louis. You look like Boris. You fat Italian cunt.
Shut up.
Wait, is that from Rice?
Yeah, he's
Knew
lovely
it,
fella.
I knew it.
Go on, son. Oh,
Seriously?
your mum doesn't mind, mate. I shagged that last night. Crushed your bit.
Bakayoko.
But other than that, we'll move swiftly on.
Wait, what?
I mean, in terms of people that they're saying they should come.
Guys, allow the hate.
forward.
Come on.
Someone's gone
Bakayoko
Bakayoko
over
back.
Kovacic.
Fucking hell.
What that person said, I agree with.
Um,
That sort of hate we encourage.
but-
Listen, Cameron.
Someone said Big Rat Babayara.
Wait, Babayoko.
Yes,
we have Celestine Babayoko. The Niger King.
Baba Rahman.
Baba. Is he still our player? We
Yes.
showed him now.
What about Mario
Someone said
Van Ginkel?
Bakayoko over Hazard.
To be fair, that's a very
Mario Van Ginkel.
fuck Bakayoko, Mario Van Ginkel.
Why are we not bringing him back?
He's injured. Though.
He's in the squad now. He's fit again.
He's fit again. I think he might get a chance next season.
He should.
I'd love to see Mario Van
I could.
Ginkel
You know,
back.
I could see him as a Regista at the bottom. That's how.
That's
when he was under Jose in that first season,
He was alright.
Yeah,
Yes,
He's the captain, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pretty.
that was the biggest banter I've seen last season. They went,
Yeah.
"You're on loan for a season, but we're making you our captain." It's like, what?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. Well, I just saw a comment with all the people that people said. Here we go. Zubhal Girl says James, Tamori, Zuma, Da Silva, Mount, Kennedy, Bakayoko, Abraham, Batshuayi, and Pulisic should be the players that come back.
He left Zuma out.
No, Zuma's in there.
Oh.
Hey, on the matter of Zuma,
Mason Mount.
on the matter of, like obviously spoke about this off camera loads, but like, for everyone here, what we saying, Zuma Rudiger.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll go.
that seems to be our general consensus.
Zuma over Christensen?
Yes, interesting one.
For me, yeah.
I'd love to see.
Christensen a bench player then?
Not
Surely.
not necessarily a bench player, but it's almost
a
like
bit of
whoever
a-
plays better throughout that season,
Yeah,
you put in my opinion, because
it's kind
I
of like a
can't
rotational three.
I can't guarantee Zuma a first team start place. I can't guarantee Christian a first team start place.
To breed healthy competition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even for Rudiger as well, because I can't even guarantee Rudiger started. If Zuma and Christensen work better together, then that's the play as well.
I think it's one where 2 spaces, 3 players, you kind of just rotate it, kind of, especially with Zuma's injury history, with
he's
Rudiger's
having that
little
laugh,
bit
yeah.
of injury history. You
Yeah.
don't know. There's always a little risk. So if you have a rotation of 3, and then you keep all of them healthy.
I'm trying to listen, but what the fuck?
Go on, hit us with it.
What are you-
Hit us with it.
Is he having a seizure?
I don't know.
It's better be good.
I don't know.
Right, take a
It's
break.
gonna be at me, isn't it? It's gonna be at me, isn't it?
So this guy called Harry Truman is in the comments just saying stuff, and he's asked if he could smash an egg off my belly, and it's in block capitals. And I was listening to whatever he was saying, and in a really serious conversation, I just looked down and say, Louis, can I smash an egg off your belly?
Only if you eat it afterwards.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, this took a turn.
I won't be there.
Someone said bring Morata back.
No, it's not that deep. I'm going to quote you word for word. It's not that deep. Yeah?
Exactly.
It is absolutely not that deep. Yeah. It is absolutely not that deep. I am stealing your phrase. It is not that deep.
You've
forgotten him already.
Hey, Morata over Higuain, the real talk.
No,
Real talk, real talk,
no,
real
yes.
talk, real talk.
Morata,
Real
they're
talk.
both so shit.
Oh yeah, exactly.
they're-
But one's young and one's doing decent
Morata
right
was
now.
missing open goals for fun.
Bruv,
Fuck that. Higuain
Bruv,
is
Higuain
shit,
can't
but I
get to
know
the
you
ball.
put him in
Higuain's
half
not
of those
shit.
chances. you'll at
Higuain's
least
not
put
shit.
him in
He's
some
over the
shit.
hill.
he's not shit.
He's
but
over the
not
hill.
work.
He's not shit.
It's not worked for him.
That's the thing. You put him in half of those
Morata,
chances, he will put them away.
You cannot. I mean, I don't know if this is the same person, but within the scope of the chat, we were talking about right player, right league.
Yeah.
Bakayoko, good player in Italy. Morata, from what I've heard, I haven't watched him, maybe a better player in Spain. All right?
Diego Forlan.
Thank you very much. Diego Forlan, Juan Sebastian Veron. Yeah, not so great in England. Diego Forlan playing for Uruguay and Villarreal, terrifying. Terrifying.
Swan? Juan
Exactly
Sebastian
why Morata
Veron
should
for
not have
Lazio.
Inter Milan,
Into Milan.
terrifying.
He's
Proper Chelsea.
You know, it's right player, right league, and the best of the best of the best, yes, can play in any league. I go back again to Michael Owen. Yeah, he wasn't given his chance at Real, but when he played, he scored. He was quality, absolute quality. That's why everyone who says like Robert, Luis Suarez, arguably the best attacker in the world, done it in England, doing it in Spain. Everyone's like, Robert Lewandowski's the best. I love him. I'd love to. I know, I love him. I love him. But I love to see what he could do in England. Right?
of course.
Aguero has done it in England, has done it in Spain. Absolute undeniable talent. The best players, the best of the best can do it anywhere. Ronaldo. Is Ronaldo better than Messi because he's done it in different leagues? Discuss.
Oh no.
Hey, and there's the can of worms open.
And I think on that note,
I think the
can
answer
you
is
hit to the end stream button? We'd like to thank everyone for watching, obviously on 100% Chelsea. Literally leave your comments down below on everything. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure you check out Lewis's channel. Make sure you check out Cameron's channel. Make sure you check out
My guy Rudy on
my
Twitter.
guy Rudy on Twitter. And make sure you like Silver Screen Dudes.
Oh yeah, hey, before you click on the end, to settle that debate, the answer is Mattia Kejman.
Ladies and gentlemen, take care. God bless you. See you later.
Out the shells.
That was a very good end, mate.